Hey guys, welcome to The Strong Young Man. Dating single mothers is not a good idea. There are so many consequences to this and very little benefits to dating a single mother. A single mother brings in complications to the relationship that you just don't get when you date a woman who doesn't have any children. Don't think with your cock. It doesn't matter how hot she is. You should never ever consider her for more than one night. Don't even have these women in your rotation. They will still complicate your life. Their chaos will corrupt your life and the juice is not worth the squeeze. Today I'm going to expand on the reasons why. Reason number 1, you will never be the focus or the most important thing in her life. As a man who is not the father of her children, you will always come second in life. She will always pick her children over you. Understand that a woman's primary interest is always going to be better invested ensuring her DNA is preserved. And this means her children will always be her number 1 priority. Don't believe it when she says otherwise. She is just saying this to keep you interested. This is because not many people will put up with dating a single mother. Don't think that you are noble by putting up with this. It's not noble raising the offspring of another man. It's weak behaviour. You are devaluing yourself. No man can raise the offspring of another with the same intensity and sacrificial love that he would for his own children. Obviously, this is a generalisation, because I know of great step-parents and I've heard of poor biological parents, but this is an exception to the rule. The children and the significant other often get in the way of each other, which puts pressure on the parent who only has a finite amount of love to give to both. Don't settle for this. Go out and pick the most suitable woman for you long term. Your window for reproduction is far wider than hers anyway, and so you can afford to be more selective. Reason number 2. Women who have children left over from a divorce have a proven track record of failing the relationship with the father of their children. This is not a good sign. Understand that at any point in time, a woman may change her mind about whom she is in a relationship with. It doesn't matter if she has built a life with someone. A woman's hypergamy does not care about the investments and sacrifices that a man has had to make to support her. At the end of the day, a woman will only look out for her best interests and what she thinks is in the best interests of her children. The bad track record is evidence that she is capable and willing to exercise this ability without considering the impact that this has on the father of her children. It doesn't matter what a woman says about why the relationship failed. Modern women do not do so well taking accountability. Most of the time, women justify their failed relationships by assigning blame to the man committing some sort of offence. Without hearing the other perspective, it is impossible to verify her story. He is a convenient scapegoat. The psychological phenomenon of scapegoating is also a sign that the woman you are dealing with is narcissistic. Are your spidey senses going off? Understand that women always have a choice of who they get into a relationship with. It's a woman's responsibility to ensure that she is with a suitable man before she has children with him. Likewise, as a man, it is your responsibility to ensure that you are with a suitable woman before you have children with her. A single mother is not a suitable woman. Even if she is truly a victim, she has a history of allowing negative people to enter her life, so get her out of yours. She will be a negative influence and will not be a complement to your life. If a woman explains that she had an accidental pregnancy, there is a slim to none chance that this is the case. It takes several months of dedicated sexual repetition to conceive a child. Scientists have estimated that a fertile young man copulating with a fertile young woman at maximum frequency have only about a 28% chance of conception per menstrual cycle. Conception does not occur when a woman is taking contraception unless she wants it to. Women are in full control of their reproductive ability. If they fail to prevent a pregnancy, then the responsibility lies entirely with them. No matter how much a man wants to impregnate a woman, she can always take some form of contraception before, during, or after sex. A woman can take the pill, enforce the use of condoms, or take the morning after pill to prevent her from getting pregnant. I'm against abortion or murder, so I'm not going to give that contraceptive method any airtime. Reason number 3, you will be a servant to someone else's child. In some way, you will be investing some sort of financial cost into the child. This could consist of contributions to their lifestyle, groceries, extra fees associated with her children, etc. Even if the costs are not obvious, they still exist, like extra petrol spent driving places. In some way, you will be a financial servant to her children. If it doesn't cost you financially, have you considered the time you have to sacrifice because of her children? Time is money, and your time spent together will be compromised. Scheduling is impossible. She will not have time for you. Your dates will be to soccer games and playing family with children that aren't yours. This goes back to reason number 1, you will never be her focus. If your relationship with these women fails, in some places you can be liable for child support, even if they are not your children. Even if you're a single father, do not date a single mother. This is not a double standard, because the opposite is not the same. A woman who dates a single father will not face the same issues that a man who dates a single mother faces. Don't feel guilty about rejecting single mothers if you are a single father. Reason number 4, the sex is not satisfying. Women are beauty objects for men. It is in our nature to be attracted to a young, beautiful woman. Being pregnant drastically reduces their attractiveness by virtue of the fact that growing a baby can irreversibly destroy the female body. The stress of raising children can also age her and builds upon this damage. This is why women do whatever they can to hide these damages to attract the highest value mate they can. Understand that underneath it all, she is not the desirable woman that you are making her out to be. Their vaginas are not the same. The older a woman gets, the less she wants to have sex anyway. So you get less sex, and when you get it, it's less satisfying. That's a pretty big deal to most men. Reason number 5. Single mothers have to settle on a guy that they want to get into a long-term relationship with. Understand that a woman's sexual market value halves if she has children compared to before having children. For more details on sexual market value, see episode 4. This is because high-value males do not want to raise another man's offspring. What will eventually happen in these relationships is that you will begin to become the target of her resentment. She resents you because you are not the caliber of man that she could have locked down prior to having children. She is known as what Rollo Tomassi calls an alpha widow. You weren't her first choice. These relationships are doomed from the beginning. Everything that you are will never measure up to the man that she could have had prior to having children. These are the primary reasons why you should never date a single mother. There are several other secondary reasons that I may expand on in a future episode, but this should be enough to keep you convinced. If you feel offended by this video, then I have achieved what I have set out to achieve. I am challenging the modern social convention that single motherhood is noble. It is not. Historically, single mothers brought shame on the family. After the sexual revolution and no-fault divorce, single motherhood began to become more socially acceptable. Somewhere after this, it began to be seen as noble. But it is not noble. It rips apart the social fabric that holds society together. This is an important concept that needs to become more widespread. When important things need to be said, someone will always become offended. If this is you, then listen carefully. We need to concentrate on shaming single mothers so that it is not as attractive to become one. Single mothers aren't heroes. They are home wreckers. They wreck their own homes and they negatively affect the lives of their children. Understand that I have done my research on single mothers. I have dated more than one single mother. Stupid. In addition to this, I have performed various social experiments on single mothers that I have come across. They are riddled with problems that are simply not worth it. The people most likely to have an issue with this concept are single mothers or previously single mothers. They take offense to this because this concept does not suit them personally. They bear the biggest consequence of this concept becoming more widespread. They have a much more personal investment in keeping the negatives of dating a single mother a secret from all men. The next most likely group to take offense to this concept are reproductively capable women who are over 26. The reason they have such an issue with this is because their future relational success relies on men remaining in blissful ignorance. These women have discovered their decline in sexual attractiveness. They are also aware of their imminent reproductive window closing. They need to keep the door open to having children with anyone to ensure their DNA proliferates, while still being able to settle down with a high-value man thereafter. When I make men aware of this, it threatens a woman's ability to engage in this behaviour in the future. Younger women and most men have no incentive to complain about what I'm saying, because their situation is not immediately threatened by this awareness. If you are a mother of a young boy, then let me ask you this. Would you encourage your successful son to marry a woman who already has children? His money will be invested into someone else's DNA rather than yours. I hope this concept is easier for you to understand when the shoe is on the other foot. Thanks for watching today's episode. In episode 27, I'll talk about deluded women. Subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified when it drops. Catch you then.